The summer games have returned, so welcome back to N+1 channel as we go over patch notes for patch 1.13.0.2c. Hello, and welcome back to N+1 channel. This is Carl, and this is so exciting because today is August 8th, 2017, or effectively the beginning of the Summer Games 2017 event on Overwatch. So we have some patch notes, and I actually missed some patch notes recently, and I kind of want to go over those later as well, and want to kind of show you some of the skins, some of the gameplay for Lucioball. So this is going to be an exciting episode. So this is patch notes for 1.13.0.2c. They like those letters lately. All right. So a new patch is live on Windows PC. Read below to learn more about these changes. To share your feedback, please post in the general discussion. For a list of known issues, visit our bug report forum. And for troubleshooting assistant, visit our technical support forum. Oh man, I'm kind of excited, so I think I'm mincing some of my words. All right, so patch highlights. Really, the only thing that's going on in this patch is the new seasonal event, Summer Games 2017. This is effectively a follow-up to the first Summer Games event, which was the first event ever on Overwatch, actually. And of course, that introduced Lucioball, and it introduced the first seasonal skins. So we're actually seeing not only the skins for this year, the new ones, but last year's skins actually are available. You can actually buy the last year's skins for the regular legendary price of 1,000 coins, which is amazing actually. So new skins still 3,000. Last year you couldn't actually purchase skins though with coins, so this is a big opportunity for people who didn't get a chance to capitalize on getting any of those skins. Maybe they missed a few, maybe they didn't even have the game at that point in time. I actually didn't have the game during the first summer event, so this is really exciting for me. I'm looking forward to trying out Lucioball. I'm looking forward to grabbing Mercy's skin from last year. She has an amazing one for this year, and I'm gonna get a chance to show you some of the skins as well. So let's see what they say about this though. The Summer Games return for more fun in the sun. From now until August 28th, players can unlock a collection of brand new seasonal items along with their favorites from last year's Summer Games event. We're also celebrating the spirit of competition with a new stadium, leaderboards, and competitive play mode specifically for Lucioball. There's also some general changes here. So they fixed an issue that could cause Reinhardt's charge to push characters through walls, and they fixed a bug that allowed Sombra to reach unintended locations on Anubis. It's funny because for a long time it was usually seeing Reaper with those unintended locations. So I'm glad that they're addressing some of those. There are some critical bugs in the game at the moment, and I can save that for another time. So want to talk a little bit about this summer event here. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. They actually have a nice little page here for Summer Games 2017. The games are back. The Summer Games return for more fun in the sun this year. We're celebrating the spirit of competition with a new Lucioball Arena, leaderboards, and competitive play. They just said that. Unlock over 50 new seasonal items, including legendary skins like Mercy's Winged Victory, the Grillmaster 76, and Lifeguard McCree, alongside all your favorite summer gear from last year. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of in love here with this Mercy skin. I am a Mercy main, despite the fact that I have a Tracer shirt. You know what I need? I need actually a Mercy shirt. That's got to be like next on my list of shirts to grab. I'm really digging this Junkrat skin too, and that Biker skin for Reaper is pretty wild. So actually, if we scroll down, they show us previews of the new skins, right? So we've got Biker here. Let's go ahead and click that. And I'm going to actually pull up the game client, and we'll take a look at those as well. The Widowmaker skin, a lot of people really like this. I kind of like this. Côte d'Azur, is that how you pronounce that? I'm not sure. There's Junkrat's Cricket skin. Grillmaster 76, and so before the event went live, there were some leaked screenshots from, I guess, like the Russian trailer or whatever, so I got a chance to see the Grillmaster one. I'm not gonna lie, I really like it. And actually, you can't see it from this screenshot, but on his like apron thing, it's what does it say? Oh man, it's something about raise the stakes, but stakes spelled with STEAKS. So that's actually really kind of clever. Oh, you know what? That gun there too. There was a trailer that showed a different gun design on Soldier 76, and this is what it was. I'm trying to remember where I saw that, but it was a trailer where they're talking about testing heroes and stuff like that. All right, so we got a lifeguard skin for McCree. Already, this year's legendaries are blowing last year's out of the water, honestly. This is Sombras. They call it Tulum, but some kind of like a diving theme skin. It looks pretty nice. It's maybe my least favorite of the new ones. And then we've got Winged Victory with Mercy here. I'm not gonna lie, I love it. I love it, and I want to add that to my rotation with my Witch Mercy skin and my Combat Medic Ziegler skin, actually, because that's just too cool. That's just too cool. I like it. I like it a lot. There's American McCree from last year. Again, all the skins from last year, 1,000 coins. So if you didn't get American McCree, it's a fan favorite. I'd say go ahead and get it, right? If you're a McCree fan. The two from Zarya last year. It's only showing the champion one, but she actually had 2 last year. The Agnosin for Mercy, I kind of want that one too. It's not super special, but I do kind of like the country theme. The Nihon Genji was pretty popular, so I imagine a lot of people want to grab that. Yeah, the Lucio ones, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce. What is it? Selecao? Celesao? I'm not sure. Sprinter for Tracer. Striker, again, that was the variant. So, and it's interesting actually, the skins for last year's summer games were the only year that I ever saw like variants of the same skin, unless you count the 2 for Torbjorn, one with the beard and one without the beard, one in his Overwatch outfit, and then one he kind of almost looks like a mechanic or something. But those are okay skins. I got both of those. I don't think that they're really that great. It's all about that Santa clad, honestly. That's my favorite of Torbjorn skins. No, what? I didn't mean to make that full screen. Are you serious? What the heck? Okay. Anyway, all right. So, is that a new one? I don't remember that being a skin. Maybe it was Teguchi. I'm not even gonna pronounce that. No, I guess that was last year. Trey Kroner for Torbjorn, Tricolor for Widowmaker, Weightlifter. Okay, so there we go. So that's kind of an overview of all the skins. Now, one of the cool things too, and I'm trying to see if they show it here. Okay, they don't. So not only do you have the arena for Lucioball that was last year returning, but you'll also be having the arena for like Australia, right? And so we've heard a little bit about the Australian wasteland, and now we're going to kind of get a chance to see that. So that's really cool. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go through the last 2 patch notes because I hadn't actually had a chance to do that. I started a new job recently. I've been crazy busy. Oh yeah, you can see the raise the stakes here. I like that. That's just too good. So I didn't get a chance to do patch notes for the last, like the 1.13.0.2b, and then I think the other one was 1.12. Let's see here. What was that? That was 1.13.0.2a. Okay. So let's go ahead and check that out. And while I'm actually reading these patch notes, though, I'm going to go ahead and put in some footage and stuff as well. So I hope you enjoy that. I'm going to get a chance to try and show off some of those skins and everything. So, all right. Overwatch patch notes for August 1st, 2017. This was just a bug fix patch. So basically, under General, they fixed a bug that prevented the party leader from entering the training menu. They fixed a bug that occasionally caused crashes when players were attempting to purchase loot boxes. I hadn't run into that, but you know, I buy my loot boxes on consoles, so I haven't actually even bought any loot boxes on PC. That's why I don't have Jack for items. And heroes fixed several bugs causing Doomfist skin to render incorrectly, and fixed a bug that occasionally prevented Reinhardt's charge from knocking back enemies. And actually, Reinhardt got a lot of love recently. They gave him, well, actually, that's going to be in the 1.13.0.2a. So let's go ahead and roll over to that, right? Okay, now this is the meat and potatoes. This is the one that I meant to do back at the end of last month, and I've just been crazy busy. So, patch highlights. New hero, Doomfist. Equipped with charisma and ambition, Doomfist is a consummate tactician and one of the leaders of Talon, literally throwing down his gauntlet as he joins the fight. From his base in Nigeria, Doomfist is a commanding offense hero equipped with a hard-hitting melee abilities. Driven by a belief that conflict is essential to humanity's progress, he's committed to advancing his vision of the future, even if the agents of Overwatch disagree with his methods. So they did try to make Doomfist not quite a black and white hero. You know, in a strange way, his motives kind of remind me a bit of the Shadows from like Babylon 5, where they believed in strength through conflict. Maybe it's a bit of a trope, but it's not terrible when it comes to motivations, right? So it's not too bad. Doomfist cybernetics make him a highly mobile, powerful frontline fighter. His primary attack is the hand cannon. This 4-shot weapon fires projectiles from Doomfist's knuckles one at a time or in a single blast. With his secondary attack, Rocket Punch, he charges forward and delivers a devastating blow, knocking back any opponent it connects with and dealing extra damage if the enemy is hurled into a wall. Seismic Slam smashes into a targeted area, knocking opponents towards him so he can deal further damage. His Rising Uppercut tosses enemies high into the air, while his passive ability, the Best Defense, grants him shields every time he uses one of his abilities against an opponent. Lastly, his ultimate ability, Meteor Strike, causes him to leap high and drop into a targeted area, dealing massive amounts of damage. And, you know, you guys have had a chance to see Doomfist now for a while, and I covered it in the PTR patch notes because I did some gameplay, so I'm not going to do that today. The loot box update went live. This was tested on the PTR. They basically gave you 5 free loot boxes to kind of see what the distribution of the items was going to be. But basically what they did is they went ahead and listened to the community where they're like, oh man, I'm getting so many duplicates, you know, why am I not getting new items? And so they fixed that. They fixed it significantly. I have gotten so many unique items, and I already have a lot on console. At this point, I'm like level 308 on PlayStation 4. And all my loot boxes that I've gotten, like the last 20 or 30 that I've opened, have been unique items. So that's real. It's actually been pretty impressive. And yeah, I haven't really noticed any major drop in coins, so I'm actually pretty happy that's been fixed. So that's nice. Alright, so again, loot box updates. We always want the experience of opening a loot box to feel exciting and rewarding. And in our latest patch, we're working to improve that experience in 2 key ways. First, we're drastically reducing the amount of duplicates you'll receive when opening loot boxes. And second, to compensate for this reduction of duplicate items, we're also increasing the overall amount of credits you'll receive from loot boxes. On average, you should be earning just as many credits, if not slightly more, from loot boxes as you did prior to these changes. So, this is super cool. They also went ahead and dropped that new highlight system. I've had a chance to play with that too. I gotta say, I really like it. The ability to record at will, your own plays and share them is really nice. I mean, yes, you can use third-party tools. Heck, I've got OBS. I can do it anytime I want to. But for the average person, an integrated system is a big deal. And it's a big deal being able to render out at higher resolutions as well. So they've done a lot of really cool stuff with that. So yeah, new highlight options. Our highlight system has received several major updates. The game will continue to automatically generate highlights for you based on your recent gameplay. These auto-generated highlights, now categorized as today's top 5, will be surfaced on a daily basis and persist for a full 24 hours or until the game client is patched, whichever happens first. Players can now generate their own highlights. The ability to capture 12 seconds of your own gameplay has been added to the game and can be bound to a single button of your choice or a button per highlight slot in the options menu under Request Highlight. These player-generated highlights will be saved under a new section called Recently Captured and will persist until the game client is patched. Players can have up to 36 recently captured highlights stored at one time. Now that's cool too. So if you have something that you want to just keep forever, you know, it was that amazing, the save was that clutch, you can do that, right? They've actually made it to where you can do that. So that's really cool. With the above, players can now record any of their top 5s or recently captured highlights, exporting them as video files or as a video file to their gaming platform's designated media library on console or directory on PC. On PC, players will also have the option to select the quality at which these highlights are exported, supporting up to 4K on Windows 8 or Windows 10, and up to 1080p on Windows 7. Now, I'm not sure why there's the difference, but it was like that on PTR as well. All right, so we look at general. They adjusted the respawn timing to limit defensive stalling strategies when the offensive team has a clear advantage and plays aggressively. So I want to say that normally the respawn timer is 6 seconds, but I'm not 100% on that, actually. You know, I should sit there and count. But it basically, it increases. I guess it increases over time. So, you know, whereas you kind of have people running out of the spawn to, you know, no, stop, don't capture, right? Now the respawn times are longer, and it's actually more difficult to do that. And I think the reason for wanting to do this is because it does kind of place an advantage to the defensive team when they're defending that last point and their spawn is right there. And I'm not sure, let's see here, did they actually mention this? I don't think they did. Okay, so it's not mentioned in this patch note, but one of the things that they changed was they also made it to where Mercy cannot res from spawn. There were a couple maps where that was particularly advantageous. The very end of Watchpoint Gibraltar, you could actually respawn from inside of that last spawn point on defense, like right at the very end where they push the payload. So that's not possible anymore. There's a couple other areas where, because you can't spawn from, or you can't res from spawn, that's actually changed. It's changed things for me as Mercy, to be honest. I have to scoot out, I have to run, I have to be careful. So, alright, general, oh, I already covered that. Custom games and game browser. Clarified the text on the flag carrier options under the capture the flag settings for custom games. Remove the projectile speed and projectile gravity options for heroes who do not have projectile weapons. That makes sense, right? For characters like, well, you know, I guess everyone's technically got a projectile, even if you think of Reinhardt, you know, he's got Fire Strike. So, but yeah, I get it. Minimum movement speed has been changed to 50%, no, formerly 10%. Now, this is a weird change, and I don't really understand it. I've had a lot of fun with custom games lately. I've been playing a lot of Mercy Paintball, actually, playing that with my daughter, and that is just a ridiculously fun match. You know, basically they set everything up to, you know, you one-hit kills, you pretty much build your ult the second you kill someone. It's great, right? And that's really high speed, but some people were doing like boss modes, right? Like they pump up one specific character on like a whole team, and then they'd make them move super slow and give kind of some other handicaps. And now that that's not a thing, it's kind of strange. Still, yeah, it's kind of slow, right? You figure the average character's movement speed, I believe, is 6 meters a second. That makes the lowest possible speed to be 3 meters per second. And if it's 5, then it's 2.5. But it's around 2.5 to 3 meters per second. Also, players can no longer select Roadhog during limited 1v1 matches. Roadhog's gone through some tough times lately, but I think the reason for this also is because since his damage has been changed, and he's also got the ability to do a take a breather, I think that they're trying to prevent 1v1s from being like the ultimate stall fest, right? If he can just munch on whatever and just heal, consistently, well, that makes it to be kind of a boring match. But all right, user interface added ability to create customized reticules. Reticle options can be found under the Controls tab in the Options menu. Click the Advanced Expander under the reticule heading. The name of Mercy's stethoscope spray has been changed to Heartbeat. Game-breaking, game-changing right there, right? Statistics gathered from 6v6 elimination matches will now be added to the statistics in the career profile, and tie games will no longer be included in the win percentage calculation that's listed under the player profile. I actually didn't realize that was already included, so that's pretty good. And I have to say, I really like the consolidation of like being able to see all modes under the career section. So like, for instance, I can see that with Mercy, I have over 100 hours across all game modes on PS4, and then I think I'm pushing like 30 or 40 something on PC. So it's really nice to know how much time I'm investing into the character and what my win rate is, and I actually compare that against a website now called masteroverwatch.com. That's not a plug, I really use it. It's actually been pretty valuable. There might be other websites that are just as good for stat tracking, but that's my personal favorite right now. Well, actually, it's the only one I'm using, so I guess by default, de facto, it is my favorite. All right, so we got some hero updates, okay? All right, Diva, Defense Matrix. New sound effects and voice lines have been added, indicating when Defense Matrix has absorbed an enemy's ultimate ability. This is a really cool idea. I want to say that this was actually frontlined by the community, because I remember people suggesting it for a long time. So the fact that Blizzard listened and, you know, if you eat a Pharah alt, or if you eat a Mei alt or whatever, I think you can eat a Mei alt. There's actually a new sound effect and like character-specific voice lines, like specific to the character whose ult that you actually went ahead and grabbed. So that's really cool. And they basically did the they did something very similar to Genji. New sound effects and voice lines have been added, indicating when an enemy's ultimate ability has been deflected. So, you know, I haven't had a chance to hear it, but I hope that there's some kind of witty voice line for when he deflects a Hanzo ult, because that would just be awesome. All right, McCree. Flashbang. Stun targets are now slowed heavily, meaning that they're less likely to escape while stunned, especially while in the air. This makes him more effective against Pharah, because right now I feel like the main counter for Pharah is pretty much always Soldier, right? Someone's like, somebody switch to Soldier! Take care of the Pharah! So having some more hit scan characters with better utility to take down Pharah is really useful. Of course, there's other uses as well. You know, hitting a Lucio, for instance, with the flashbang is going to be very beneficial, especially when he's speed boosting and you're like, nope, we're not doing that today. In fact, actually, the developer comment says this change will make McCree's flashbang consistent against fast-moving targets like Genji or Lucio. All right, Reaper, Shadow Step. Sound effect and voiceover distance has been reduced by 50%. So, yeah, and maybe this needed to happen, but I don't know. Reaper's been getting some pretty consistent buffs, right? Ever since they got rid of his sort of soul collecting ability, and now that he returns 20% of the damage that he does back to himself as health. One of the things that people rely on are you know, character callouts, automatic character callouts, and so in this change, instead of hearing repositioning, you're still going to hear it, but you're not going to hear it at larger distances. So this is a net buff to Reaper. It makes him stealthier. Now he handles better on his own. So yeah, and he's effectively replaced Roadhog as DPS, because Roadhog was used as an off DPS character. Alright, and then developer comments. Even though Shadow Step wasn't intended to be used as a way for players to teleport right next to an enemy without their knowledge, the sound effects were audible from distances that made teleportation difficult from nearly anywhere. This change allows Reaper to be a bit more sneaky with his flanking option, and he is a flanker. Reaper is absolutely best played as a flanker, just like Sombra. Alright, Reinhardt, Rocket Hammer. Swing speed has been increased by 10%. And developer comments for this. In the last update, Reinhardt's Rocket Hammer had an issue that allowed players with higher latency to swing faster. We fixed this bug, which suddenly made swing speed feel too slow. So we're compensating for this by increasing his standard swing speed. During this process, we also found and fixed a few bugs with Rocket Hammer's hit registration. Overall, the hammer should feel much better. And actually, people were asking for fixes to Reinhardt for a while, so I'm glad to see that addressed. Alright, so Zarya, Graviton Surge, now disables mobility abilities on all affected targets, and this has hurt as mercy, because occasionally you could Guardian Angel out of Graviton Surge, and you know, every time I try now, I fail miserably, right? I can't get that advantage, I can't get out of there. So this does make Zarya a bit more dangerous. I've been seeing people comboing with Zarya a lot more lately as well. And I don't even know that they realize that this changed. I think they just happen to be using her more. And developer comments, in the past, the abilities that allowed heroes to escape Zarya's Graviton Surge felt fairly arbitrary. We're cleaning this up and increasing Graviton Surge's overall power by rendering all movement abilities unusable when an enemy is trapped. And we got bug fixes. Okay, so general fixed an issue preventing best in-game stats from being updated. Fixed a bug that could cause the user interface to incorrectly indicate that an enemy player has been hit when colliding with them. Fixed a bug that could allow projectiles that would normally pierce shields, i.e. Reinhardt's Fire Strike, to pass through other surfaces. That would also include things like Symmetra's primary ability or even her secondary ability. Both of those pierce shields. Fixed a bug that caused some players to lose audio during the match. Glad they fixed that. That actually, that's been around ever since the Horizon Lunar Colony patch. And so to see that fixed is good. Competitive play. Fixed a bug that caused players to get a leaver penalty during off-season matches, even after the in-game banner advertised it was safe to leave the match. I'm glad they fixed that. But I do have to say some of the penalties for leavers, especially if your connection went, you lost your connection. I kind of think that needs to be addressed a little bit. I understand sort of a zero tolerance policy, but I actually managed to lag out on a match recently, and I was just so upset. Like, we still won. Now, I actually thought I was going to lose 50 competitive points, but still, somehow I managed to gain 30. So I don't know why, because my understanding is that should have caused me to lose 50. But if that changed at some point, then I missed that. In fact, feel free to let me know in the comments there. Alright, let's see. Custom games and games browser. Fixed a bug that prevented players from being added to a custom game with 12 spectator slots. Fixed a bug in custom game settings that prevented some heroes with self-healing from having a healing dealt modifier. Removed the projectile gravity slider from heroes who do not have abilities affected by gravity. Projectile. I actually have not messed with that option. Alright, heroes. Fix a bug with D.Va's call mech ability that allowed you to see her inside the mech before entering it. Which, that's not really a bug, right? That's sort of just a logical issue where it's part of the model. And so I guess they probably just shrunk it down and then expanded as soon as she gets in. That's pretty typical. Because it despawns what people call baby D.Va or the D.Va out of mech. The moment that the mech really spawns once you see the crawling animation, so... I mean, yeah, it's a nice quality of life thing, but it doesn't affect anything. Fix a bug that could cause eliminations from Junkrat's Total Mayhem to be mislabeled in the kill feed. Fixed a bug that would cause Junkrat to use his ultimate callout when he's unable to use his ultimate. Fixed a bug that allowed Roadhog's chain hook to latch onto a Risa supercharger. I've actually not seen that, but it'd be cool if you could actually pull it out of position. Fixed a bug that allowed Sombra to take damage after activating her translocator. Oh man, sorry, I just had this crazy idea. Like, what if you could, with Roadhog, hook Sombra's translocator and hook it off like the map? That would actually be kind of clever. Even though I'm sure that would be unintended by the developers, that would be really clever, I think. Let's see here. The sound effects on Reinhardt's Bloodheart, Blackheart, and Wujing skins have been updated to reflect the use of an axe instead of a hammer. It's a small change, but I actually like that. It's like attention to detail. So instead of hearing the, it's more like a light ching. It's actually kind of nice. Fixed a bug preventing Lucio from receiving the full speed boost when traveling backwards during a wall ride. He's supposed to, of course, get a 30% speed increase from wall riding. They fixed a bug that occasionally prevented Torbjorn from building and upgrading his turret. I know for a little while, now I can't remember which patch it was, but I was unable to build turrets on the elevator that moves up and down on the first point on Hollywood. That's like my favorite spot for it. It is a really clutch point, and it makes it harder for it to be hit, while still giving it the ability to hit heroes. So I'm glad that they fixed that. They fixed multiple hit registration bugs with Reinhardt's Rocket Hammer. We saw that actually reflected a little bit in 1.13.0.2b and 2c. So that's good. Some map fixes. Fixed a bug on Eichenwald that prevented Soldier 76 from placing his biotic field in certain locations on point A. They fixed a bug that caused AI-controlled players to perpetually move towards the objective in the Gardens point in Oasis. They fixed a bug that prevented training bots from facing the right direction and returning to their original location after being moved by player interactions in the practice range. Fixed a bug that was causing unusual camera angles for the highlight intros on Route 66, and I saw that actually. And it's, you know, when they say unusual camera angles, it was either, you know, you just see it basically from no perspective that made sense. But I have seen a bug though since the last patch, or since this patch went live, that caused depth of focus actually to be completely off. Like not off as in turned off, but like as in everything was fuzzy, even things that shouldn't have been. So I think that they may or may not be aware of that bug, but I've seen that. And if you've seen it too, actually feel free to comment. I like comments. They also fixed a bug that could cause Diva to fall through the floor while boosting into the ground in a specific area on Volskaya Industries. So, wow. I actually managed to cover 3 patch notes worth in one video, but they were small patch notes. 1.13.0.2 in general has been amazing. Doomfist has been a really interesting character. Now that there's Lucioball and competitive Lucioball, Blizzard has just stepped up their game so much. In fact, I mean, I think I say this every patch note now, but they continue to impress. They continue to be sort of a model company for providing good content for a game, good free content, right? The fact that loot boxes cost money is fine. It's not pay to win. It's pay for some cosmetics. It's not a big deal. I actually think that their model is probably one of the most ethical in all games as a service online games. So, you know what? With that said, hey, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you have any comments, please leave comments. Especially since, you know, now I've been so busy, I'd just like to have that, you know, that back and forth, like, let's talk about this game, let's talk about what's going on. And, yeah, because I really miss that. And I enjoy, you know, I think I haven't gotten a comment in like a week, but I've still had like tons of views. So, yeah, say something. I like to talk. And with that said, you know what? Hey, let's keep doing the thing. I'll see you next time for probably another patch note video. But given that this event's going on till the 28th, it's probably gonna be September. So see you in September, and hey, let's keep doing the thing. I'll see you next time.